one of the reasons why we might hang on to things is just because we're busy and we don't have time to get rid of it or go through it. And another reason might be because, well, we might have paid a lot for that item, even though we're not using it anymore. We might feel like it's wasteful to get rid of it. Or maybe the stuff around us gives us a sense of home, gives us a sense of maybe wealth, that we own it, even if we don't need it anymore. So we're going to be asking some questions in this video to kind of help you get started in the process of maybe deciding, do I need this? Can I give this to someone? Could this be donated and be useful to someone else? So downsizing can mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. I have clients that have moved out of very, very large homes and they're just downsizing to 3,000 square feet. Or I've had clients that have moved from acreage and they are now moving to something much smaller as far as the lot size. So there are a lot of different things that could mean, but usually it's meaning that whatever they had, they now no longer need, and they're needing to get rid of some of it. I've been watching some videos about minimalism and decluttering, and for some people it could mean that they're moving into a townhome, a condo, maybe downtown, or a tiny home. We don't have a lot of tiny homes around Greenville, but we do have some. And if you're moving into something like that, obviously there are a lot of things that may not fit in the space that you're moving into. So just out of consideration of where you have the space you have to store things, you may have to reduce down. You're in a larger home and you need to move to a smaller home, and this is going to happen fairly soon. And so you really need to start decluttering and downsizing pretty quickly. One thing that you could do is start with large items first, furniture items that you could sell on Facebook Marketplace, donate to a local charity like Miracle Hill, or give away to a family member. Maybe there are furniture items that you've collected over the years, or maybe a family member's given them to you, and maybe someone else can use those. Maybe one of your children could use it. So try to get rid of large items first, because then you're going to see progress. And progress makes you feel good because it makes you feel like you're making things happen and having momentum. Another challenge that I've seen, you could get rid of 100 items in a week. Maybe you set a goal for 15 to 20 items in a day. And they don't have to be large items. They could be like going through your pantry or your refrigerator or your kitchen, going through a closet and just pulling out 15 to 20 items a day that you could get rid of. How about old shoe boxes that are just stacked up from shoes that you've purchased? Maybe you thought you would use them for gift wrapping or storage or something, and they're just in the way. So you could get rid of those. How about old computer equipment? We had 2 computers that I really didn't know what to do with, and finally I just had the hard drives removed from them and donated the computers to be basically recycled. So there are just tons of ways that things build up and we don't even realize it. Another minimalist challenge, and I don't really consider myself a minimalist, but another thing that you could do is take the number of days in the month and start out small, getting rid of 1 item on the first day, 2 items on the second day, and just maybe keep a list or a diary of what you're donating or getting rid of, so that you know that there's progress, because progress can help you to feel good about what you're doing and feel like you're making a good effort and momentum is happening on your declutter and your downsizing. As a decorator and designer, I'm always bringing new things in, and you've got to take the old out and get rid of it or it just gets stuck. So immediately we need to move those old items out and bring in the new. Let's talk about setting up a system that might help you with your downsizing and decluttering, just with small items. Maybe you have 3 bins And the first bin is donate, and then you have a bin for sell, and then you have a bin that's actually things that you're not sure about that you need to just wait and make sure you don't need. You could set a time limit, like if I haven't used this item in 2 years, then I'm gonna get rid of it. I was thinking today though that I also paint, and I don't use my paints that often, but I don't want to get rid of them at the same time. I think it's something that I will use in the future. So I think with each decision, you're going to have to really look at the item and determine, is this something that I'm going to use, or is it just sitting here? Could I give it to someone that might be able to use it, or is it really beyond its life and existence and just needs to go in the trash? The Christmas decorating and seasonal decorating changes all the time. So one thing you have to really watch is just that you are getting rid of old decorations that you're no longer using when you bring in new. So anything that you bring in, you really want to be asking yourself, well, what can I donate or send away in its place, so that I'm not overwhelming my collection of Christmas decor or whatever it is, Thanksgiving, Easter, whatever it is that you use to decorate. So, and I was watching a video about a pretty well-known decorator, and it just occurred to me how overwhelmed she was trying to decorate every room in her house. So if that brings you joy, then do it. But if it doesn't, maybe you don't need all that stuff, and you could downsize, shift some of it to children or someone else that could use it, and be able to simplify a little bit for yourself. And maybe that would give you a sense of joy and freedom, just not to have the responsibility anymore. This is a big one for me. I have photos all over my house of my family. I love my family, and I love looking at photos because it helps me remember things. But when you're getting ready to sell or downsize, some of those photos may have to come off the wall, or even come out of photo albums, so that you can just reduce and not need so much space. So here are some ideas for that. You might even scan in photos and photo albums to a digital type of storage system. A thumb drive or an external drive could work for that. Or if you like to have photos that you can hold, there are companies that will actually put these photos into little books for you, so that you can still look at them, but they're not taking up quite as much space. So these are things that might take a little bit of time to do, but might be well worth just preserving the memories, but also reducing the amount of storage that you need for all those printed photos. I haven't really printed a lot of photos in several years, but I'm still old enough to know that a lot of people had scrapbooks and photo albums and things that they did for their children that they may want to preserve, and but they don't have the room for them anymore. So maybe you give that to your child, or you reduce it down to a smaller book or a digital type of storage. Digital photo frames are great too, so that you can still see the pictures, but you don't have to have all of the pictures up. And especially if you're selling your home, just a tip, buyers, they want to envision themselves in that home. And it's kind of distracting when they're looking at the picture of you and your kids and grandkids. So a few of those, okay, but you don't want to just overwhelm them with all of the pictures. So one other area that we don't like to talk about a lot might be the garage and outside. And we have to ask ourselves, when we're downsizing and decluttering, the same questions about tools, yard toys for the kids or grandkids, boating equipment, and other types of things that we may have in our yard. Do I still need this? Am I going to use this where I'm moving or where I'm going? Can I turn loose of it? Could I sell it, donate it, or give it to someone that might need it, a family member, just to simplify. And I think that there is a lot of freedom and anxiety release and stress release when things are neat and organized and clean. So you may be kind of working on this by yourself. Hopefully you have the cooperation of other people around you, or maybe it is something that you are working through yourself and trying to just get rid of things that weren't even yours. But you're left to kind of clean through them and decide what needs to stay and what needs to go. So again, you could apply the same challenge to this. Anything outdoors. If you're getting ready to sell your home, you want to kind of walk around the home and ask as far as maintenance issues on the outside. Landscaping, is it in very good condition for the buyer to walk around? And they will walk around and look at everything, fencing, everything, landscaping, and they're going to be asking themselves, is this something that I can maintain? Is this something that I could fix? Is this something that I could use? So I wanted to very quickly, because we build new custom homes and because I am a realtor, show you some pictures of some model homes and some homes that we've built. Because if you are an existing homeowner, you might need to have an idea, okay, what are buyers looking at when they go in a brand new home and what are they seeing? If you haven't thought about selling in a long time, this could be very useful to you. No matter where you live in the country or world, you can get an idea of what these homes are being staged like so that you can get an idea of how to do it yourself and what you might need to put away and what you might need to keep out for buyers. So in my research for this video, I actually found several companies that are local, and I'm sure that no matter where you are, you could also probably find companies that would help you organize if you feel completely stuck and feel like you need help moving forward with your downsizing and decluttering. There's a company here in Greenville called the Teal Butterfly, and they do organizing and design. And they will come in and clean out a closet for you, pantry, kitchen. They'll do any room in your house. I'm sure they would probably even help with garage, but you could give them a call. There's another company called Organize with Brittany, and this company will come in and do basically the same thing. They will help you in any space in your home to declutter, downsize. These companies also help with estates, like if you've inherited your mother's house or your father's house, and now you're in charge of kind of cleaning it out and getting it ready to be sold. These companies could help you do that. There's a company called Best Junk Removal, LLC, and it is great for like outdoor items, just things that have been kind of abandoned, left that you need to get rid of. You might need to bring in a dumpster or just kind of have some help with getting some things out of the way in the yard. That would be that type of company. My son has a company called Hayes Construction Management, and he does fencing and landscaping and cleanup of that sort. So if that is something you're needing, or drainage work, maybe you have an area where there's kind of a water issue in your yard and you're needing to resolve that before you sell, that could be an option. And then of course, we are a local custom home builder and renovator. So if you're needing help with refreshing an area in your home, that's something that we could look at. And I do design consulting as well, so we can walk through your home if you're local and give you some ideas on how to stage it, what to keep out, what to put away, how to rearrange things so that it is the best for a showing or for a buyer to see. So these are all just ideas, and some of them I'm trying to implement in my own home and my own life. Well, thanks for watching All Things Home-Upstate, South Carolina. Again, I'm a realtor. My husband is a builder, and we'd love to help you here locally if we can to buy, sell, or build or renovate. And if you are thinking about downsizing and decluttering right now, I would just encourage you to take it one step at a time, encourage yourself as you go, and make sure that you look at your progress and you're proud of yourself for what you've done, because I think it will bring you a lot of freedom and less stress in the long run if you work on it and you simplify your life. And I hope you all have an amazing day, and thanks for tuning in today.